China's recent deployment of a laser-directed energy weapon on one of its amphibious assault ships signifies a crucial advancement in the nation's naval capabilities. This development comes amid heightened global interest in directed energy weapons, which are increasingly being recognized for their potential to revolutionize modern warfare. These high-tech systems rely on focused energy to engage and neutralize targets rapidly, offering speed, precision, and adaptability unmatched by traditional munitions-based weapons. The weapon in question has been installed on a Type 071 amphibious transport dock, a core vessel within the People's Liberation Army Navy. This ship class, designed primarily for transporting troops and equipment during amphibious assaults, now serves a dual role as a test platform for China's growing directed energy arsenal. This installation signals that China is not only testing these systems on land, but is now fully committed to exploring their operational viability at sea. This is a notable shift from the earlier stages of China's directed energy weaponry, which predominantly focused on terrestrial targets and defense systems. China's recent deployment of a laser-directed energy weapon on one of its amphibious assault ships has captured global attention, marking a notable progression in the country's military technology. This new development, now visible in photographs showing the laser weapon housed within a large dome-like structure, highlights China's serious focus on integrating advanced weaponry into its maritime defense arsenal. The dome cover is a particularly essential feature, crafted to protect the delicate and highly sensitive laser optics from the severe conditions of the maritime environment. Directed energy systems like this laser weapon require meticulously controlled conditions to function optimally. Without adequate shielding, exposure to harsh elements such as saltwater, humidity, and rapid temperature fluctuations would compromise both the precision and durability of the weapon. Saltwater, in particular, is known for its highly corrosive properties, which can quickly degrade sensitive electronic and optical equipment. Humidity can interfere with electronic stability, potentially causing short circuits or reducing the lifespan of internal components. Temperature swings, common at sea, could affect the alignment of the laser beam, reducing accuracy and power. The presence of a dome structure suggests that the Chinese engineers have proactively accounted for these challenges, implementing a design that prioritizes both functionality and longevity. In the past, China's laser weapon systems were almost exclusively land-based, developed to handle environmental conditions typically more stable than those encountered at sea. By moving such technology to a naval platform, China has undertaken a challenging engineering task, ensuring the weapon's performance despite environmental stresses. This shift underscores the value China places on directed energy weapons in future maritime operations, a domain where laser weapons are increasingly seen as viable alternatives to traditional missile systems. A laser weapon protected by a dome also signifies enhanced operational readiness. With the dome cover in place, this laser system could remain on standby for extended periods, available for immediate activation if a threat arises. The ability to quickly deploy and engage with such a weapon is critical in maritime settings, where threats can emerge suddenly, often with minimal warning. This readiness capability aligns with the practical demands of maritime warfare, where reaction time is often the deciding factor in successful threat neutralization. In terms of strategy, this weapon represents a significant asset for the People's Liberation Army Navy, PLAN. Amphibious assault ships like the Type 071 are key to China's power projection, capable of transporting troops and equipment to remote locations. By arming such ships with directed energy weapons, the plan has added a layer of security that enhances these vessels' ability to defend themselves independently. Rather than relying solely on escort ships for protection, a Type 071 equipped with a laser weapon could potentially engage and neutralize aerial threats autonomously. This reduces the need for constant support from other naval assets, allowing the plan to deploy these amphibious ships in a more flexible and self-sufficient manner. The decision to integrate a laser weapon on an amphibious transport dock also highlights the versatility of this technology. Directed energy systems are distinct from conventional armaments due to their capability to disable, disrupt, or destroy various targets without physical ammunition. This contrasts sharply with missile systems, which require ongoing resupply and maintenance. Laser weapons operate using energy generated on board, making them virtually limitless in terms of ammunition as long as sufficient power is available. This unique advantage is particularly relevant for amphibious ships that may operate in remote locations with limited resupply options. By equipping such vessels with lasers, China ensures that these assets remain operationally viable, even in extended missions far from logistical support. China's decision to test this laser on a Type 071 also aligns with its broader military ambitions. This amphibious ship class has been a workhorse of the plan, involved in numerous training exercises and international missions. As China continues to expand its military presence, especially in regions like the South China Sea, the addition of directed energy capabilities could shift the balance of power. In contested areas, laser systems could offer a non-lethal means to assert control. For instance, by using the laser's dazzler function, Chinese vessels could disable the sensors on surveillance drones or reconnaissance aircraft from other countries, discouraging incursions into contested waters without resorting to overtly aggressive actions. This non-lethal application is particularly important in scenarios involving territorial disputes, where outright aggression may provoke a significant escalation. The dazzler capability allows China to control interactions at a lower level of intensity, allowing for a show of force without directly engaging in hostile action. By blinding or temporarily disabling an adversary's optics, the plan could achieve its strategic objectives while avoiding the more serious diplomatic repercussions that could accompany an overt attack. The global implications of China's laser-directed energy weapon are profound. As more nations explore this technology, the race to deploy effective directed energy systems could redefine naval warfare in the coming decades. Historically, China's utilization of directed energy weapons has been limited to land-based operations. Initial applications of these laser weapons were primarily aimed at blinding or disorienting surveillance equipment, temporarily disabling sensors on enemy vehicles, and other short-range defensive tasks. However, the decision to equip a naval vessel with such a system represents a major leap forward, suggesting that China is prepared to extend the capabilities of directed energy weapons into the maritime domain. This strategic move reflects a broader global trend. The United States has long been at the forefront of directed energy technology, conducting extensive research and trials to integrate lasers into its defense systems. For instance, the U.S. Navy's Laser Weapon System Demonstrator, LWSD Mk2 Mod 0, has already been deployed on the USS Portland, a San Antonio-class landing platform dock. This system successfully intercepted and destroyed a drone during a live demonstration in May 2020, showcasing the tactical effectiveness of high-powered lasers at sea. Developed by Northrop Grumman, the LWSD Mk2 Mod 0 is a 150-kilowatt class weapon designed to provide enhanced protection against small boat swarms and unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, two prevalent and escalating threats in maritime conflict zones. This system not only has offensive capabilities, but also functions as a dazzler, disrupting the optics of enemy sensors to obscure the movement or positioning of the vessel. The concept of a laser dazzler introduces a tactical advantage beyond traditional offensive capabilities, offering a strategic, non-lethal means to neutralize or impair enemy assets. Dazzlers serve as tools for disruption rather than outright destruction, focusing on temporarily blinding or disabling the optical sensors of adversarial systems. This approach allows naval forces to achieve control over a situation without resorting to conventional weapons or causing irreparable harm, a valuable asset in maritime confrontations where the slightest aggressive move could rapidly escalate tensions. One of the primary advantages of the dazzler function is its scalability. By adjusting the laser's intensity, operators can tailor the weapon's effect based on the level of threat or strategic necessity. At lower intensities, the laser is sufficient to impair visibility or interfere with the targeting systems of enemy vessels, drones, or aircraft. This disruption effectively disables the enemy's ability to surveil, monitor, or acquire targets accurately, granting the defending force a considerable edge in visibility and maneuverability. These lower intensity applications are especially useful in scenarios where a quick and reversible response is preferable. For example, in contested waters, where naval forces from multiple nations may operate in close proximity, a lower intensity dazzler provides a way to obstruct or discourage surveillance efforts without the risk of physical confrontation. On the other hand, when the situation calls for a more decisive response, the dazzler's intensity can be increased. Higher power settings have the potential to inflict permanent damage on enemy sensors, rendering their equipment inoperable. In extreme cases, high-intensity laser dazzlers could even cause physiological harm, such as temporary or permanent eye damage to personnel operating the targeted equipment. This range of operational options makes dazzlers a versatile and adaptable tool in naval strategy, allowing forces to dynamically scale their response based on the immediate tactical needs. The non-lethal nature of dazzlers makes them particularly valuable in maritime operations, where assertiveness must often be balanced with restraint. In highly sensitive areas such as the South China Sea, where the presence of naval forces from multiple countries is a constant source of tension, using a dazzler to impair the optics of a foreign surveillance aircraft or drone serves as a controlled yet effective means of demonstrating authority. It communicates a warning without crossing the line into aggression, providing an intermediate response that respects the thresholds of engagement. This approach not only de-escalates potential conflicts, but also establishes a precedent for controlled responses in disputed regions, thereby reducing the likelihood of accidental or unintended confrontations. In a broader strategic context, the use of dazzlers also represents a new paradigm in power projection. Traditional weapon systems, such as missiles or artillery, often leave little room for nuanced engagement. Once fired, a missile is a commitment to destruction, with very few options to halt its trajectory or adjust its impact. Dazzlers, by contrast, offer a continuum of engagement options, from mild interference to severe incapacitation. This flexibility is invaluable in modern military strategy, where responses often need to be quick yet reversible, assertive but not provocative. In essence, dazzlers provide a way to occupy the gray zone of conflict, a space between peace and war, where actions can influence the balance of power without triggering full-scale hostilities. These systems could be deployed to disrupt an adversary's communication equipment or interfere with navigation systems. By effectively blinding a portion of the opponent's operational capabilities, dazzlers can create confusion, disrupt coordinated movements, and reduce situational awareness. In a naval confrontation, this loss of cohesion could decisively alter the outcome by forcing an adversary to withdraw or regroup, providing valuable time for friendly forces to reposition or gain the upper hand. The strategic utility of dazzlers also lies in their capacity to extend engagements without an immediate escalation to lethal force. In scenarios where national interests are at stake, such as territorial disputes or freedom of navigation operations, nations are often reluctant to initiate hostile action due to the potential for diplomatic fallout. Dazzlers present an effective compromise, allowing military forces to enforce their claims or deter adversaries in a manner that avoids the political costs associated with direct confrontation. This middle ground approach aligns well with modern principles of conflict management, where containment and de-escalation are often prioritized. In terms of operational deployment, dazzlers represent a significant shift in the structure of naval assets. As these systems become more integrated into naval platforms, they enable ships to engage in layered defense tactics, combining conventional weapons with non-lethal options. This multi-layered approach allows commanders to calibrate their responses based on the nature of the threat, gradually increasing in intensity if necessary. For example, if a drone approaches a vessel, a ship equipped with a dazzler could initially engage with a low-intensity beam, temporarily disorienting the drone's sensors. If the drone persists or escalates, the dazzler's power can be increased to permanently damage its optics or disrupt its navigation. The prospect of combining dazzlers with other advanced systems, such as radar or electronic warfare, further enhances their operational scope. Dazzlers could work in tandem with electronic jamming systems to create a defensive barrier where approaching threats are simultaneously blinded and disoriented. By blinding optical systems and jamming electronic signals, naval forces could achieve an unprecedented level of control over the engagement environment. This synergy creates a soft kill zone around a vessel, repelling intruders without necessitating physical destruction. The laser dazzler is more than just a weapon. It is a versatile tool for nuanced conflict management in modern naval warfare. Its non-lethal, scalable, and adaptable nature aligns perfectly with the strategic needs of today's maritime operations, offering a way to assert authority while managing the risks of escalation. As laser technology continues to evolve, the role of dazzlers in naval defense will likely expand, providing militaries with a sophisticated means of enforcing their interests in contested waters and beyond. China's choice to install a laser-directed energy weapon on a Type 071 vessel indicates a shift in the plan's defensive priorities. This move is consistent with previous encounters between Chinese and foreign naval forces in contested waters, such as the South China Sea. Notably, in February 2020, the Type 052D Luoyang, a third-class destroyer, Ho Hot, was reported to have targeted a US Navy patrol aircraft with a laser dazzler, an incident that raised concerns about the potential for unintended escalation. The fact that China has already equipped some of its vessels with dazzlers reinforces the likelihood that this new system aboard the Type 071 will have similar capabilities, possibly with an enhanced range or greater power output. Directed energy weapons like lasers offer a unique set of advantages over conventional weapons. Unlike missiles or artillery shells, lasers are effectively immune to interception as they travel at the speed of light. This instantaneous engagement time is crucial in defense scenarios where split-second reactions can make the difference between neutralizing a threat and sustaining damage. Lasers also operate with a virtually unlimited ammunition supply, relying on the vessel's power source rather than physical munitions. This eliminates logistical challenges associated with resupplying ammunition, particularly during extended operations far from home ports. However, directed energy weapons are not without their limitations. One of the primary challenges is power generation. High-energy lasers require a stable and robust power source to function effectively. Most naval vessels are not designed with this requirement in mind, and retrofitting them to support laser systems can be a costly and complex process. Additionally, atmospheric conditions, particularly humidity, fog, and rain, can significantly reduce the effectiveness of laser beams by scattering or absorbing the energy. This is particularly relevant in maritime environments where weather conditions are often unpredictable. Despite these challenges, the strategic benefits of directed energy weapons are compelling. As militaries around the world continue to experiment with and refine laser technology, the potential for these systems to counter threats such as small boat swarms, drones, and potentially even incoming missiles becomes increasingly clear. The US Navy has openly stated that directed energy weapons are a key component of its future defensive arsenal, particularly in the context of countering missile threats. Although the current laser systems are not yet capable of engaging high-speed targets like cruise missiles, advancements in power generation and beam-focusing technology may eventually close this gap. China's rapid development and deployment of laser technology are part of a broader ambition to achieve parity with, or even surpass, other global military powers. By placing these advanced systems on its naval vessels, China is signaling its intent to secure its maritime borders and project power in contested regions. The deployment of the laser weapon on a Type 071 vessel could be seen as a message to neighboring countries and rival powers that China is ready to defend its interests with cutting-edge technology. Furthermore, the potential applications of these laser systems extend beyond combat scenarios. Directed energy weapons could also be used in a deterrent role, allowing Chinese vessels to prevent unauthorized surveillance or reconnaissance by disabling the sensors on foreign drones or aircraft without causing physical damage. This capability would be especially useful in regions like the South China Sea, where China frequently encounters vessels from other nations conducting surveillance or freedom of navigation operations. By deploying non-lethal but highly effective dazzlers, China could discourage these operations without resorting to aggressive tactics. The implications of China's laser-directed energy advancements are far-reaching. As more countries invest in this technology, naval warfare is likely to undergo a profound transformation. Future conflicts may see fewer conventional weapons like missiles and more reliance on high-tech systems capable of neutralizing threats with precision and minimal collateral damage. Directed energy weapons could become as fundamental to naval strategy as radar and sonar, providing a layer of protection that is adaptable to a wide range of threats. This deployment on the Type 071 amphibious transport dock could mark the initial phase of a larger shift in China's naval strategy. Should the trials demonstrate success, it is highly plausible that the People's Liberation Army Navy plan will extend its use of laser weaponry to a broader range of vessels, potentially outfitting destroyers, frigates, and other critical fleet components. Such an expansion would provide China's Navy with a robust layered defense capability, significantly bolstering both its defensive and offensive capacity in maritime operations. By equipping various classes of ships with these advanced systems, China could assert a greater degree of control and flexibility in contested waters, such as the South China Sea, where geopolitical tensions are often high. As China moves forward with its military modernization efforts, directed energy systems are set to become integral to its strategic arsenal. The versatility and precision offered by laser technology align with China's ambitions to leverage cutting-edge innovations for enhanced operational effectiveness. This development reflects a clear commitment to staying at the forefront of military technology and adapting to the evolving landscape of modern warfare. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this cutting-edge technology. Share your insights in the comments below. If you found this video engaging, remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on more fascinating advancements in modern warfare and defense technology. Thanks for watching.